Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're doing a deep dive into the sources behind Andy Weir's really influential hard science fiction novel, The Martian.
That's right. Our goal here is to quickly pull out the key technical stuff, the high stakes plot points, and also that pretty surprising publishing story.
Yeah, the backstory is almost as good as the main plot. So the setup is, it's 2035. Mark Watney, who's the Eris 3 mission's botanist and engineer, gets stranded.
Right, on Mars, at Acidalia Planitia, a huge dust storm hits. The crew has to make an emergency evac.
And Commander Lewis thinks he's dead, leaves him behind,
Yeah,
just alone.
totally alone, millions of miles from anyone.
So stranded, cut off. But Watney, he just immediately goes into this mode he calls working the problem. Very engineering mindset.
Absolutely. It's all about breaking down impossible odds into solvable steps.
What was the first, the most immediate technical hurdle he had to jump for just basic survival?
Well, essentials were running out fast. Air, shelter okay for a bit, but food and water, those were critical, especially needing to last maybe 4 years for the next mission.
4 years.
Okay. For food, he famously turns to botany. Manages to grow potatoes right there in the hab using Martian soil and, well, creating fertilizer.
We won't get too graphic there. But the water, that seemed even more dicey.
Oh, terrifyingly so. He needed a lot more water than he had. His solution involved getting hydrogen gas from leftover hydrazine fuel.
Hang on, hydrazine, isn't that like super volatile rocket fuel?
Exactly. Highly toxic, highly explosive. He used an iridium catalyst to carefully separate the hydrogen.
Wow.
Then he had to burn that hydrogen with oxygen he had stored, basically creating water through controlled combustion inside his habitat.
Just running regulated explosions where he lived.
Pretty much. It was incredibly dangerous chemistry, but, technically sound if you got the calculations perfect. He bet his life on it.
That level of confidence, or maybe desperation, and while he's doing this, back on Earth, NASA's looking at satellite pics.
And they see movement. They realize, oh my God, he's alive.
But then there's that controversial bit. They don't immediately tell the Hermes crew, who are already heading home.
Yeah, a whole ethical dilemma there. But maybe we shift gears a bit because the way the book came about is also kind of improbable.
Right, the origin story, where his background is computer science, right?
Right.
Not aerospace engineering.
Correct. But he did immense research trying to get the science as accurate as possible. And he didn't pitch it to publishers initially,
No, he put it up for free, chapter by chapter, on his blog. Serialized it.
just for fellow science enthusiasts.
And this is where, that business nugget comes in. His blog readers loved it, wanted an easier way to read it.
So he put it on Amazon Kindle for the minimum price allowed, 99 cents.
Just to make it convenient. No big marketing push.
And it just took off, sold something like 35,000 copies in just 3 months. Purely word of mouth, pretty much.
That kind of organic buzz gets attention.
Oh, absolutely. That's when Crown Publishing Group jumped in and bought the print rights, reportedly for over $100,000.
From free blog posts to a major publishing deal.
Uh.
Amazing.
Okay, but back to Watney on Mars. Here's where it gets really interesting. The rescue itself. NASA tries a few things. Supply probes fail.
And then comes this astrodynamicist, Rich Purnell. He figures out this wild trajectory.
The Rich Purnell maneuver basically have the Hermes, which is already nearing Earth, not stop.
Instead, they rip around Earth, use its gravity like a slingshot.
For a gravity assist, yeah. To gain enough speed and alter course to head back to Mars, a much, much longer mission for the crew.
But the only viable way to get back to Watney in time.
A brilliant plan, technically.
Yeah.
But Teddy Sanders, the NASA administrator, he shut it down immediately.
Said the risk to the other 5 astronauts was just too high. Protecting the crew versus saving the one.
Classic institutional risk assessment, but it didn't end there.
No, this is the core human drama bit. Mitch Henderson, head of the astronaut corps, he disagreed. Strongly.
And he took a huge risk himself. He secretly leaked the maneuver details to the Hermes commander.
Sent the trajectory data. Basically bypassed NASA command.
And the crew, all 5 of them, they talked it over and unanimously voted yes. They initiated the burn for the maneuver.
And crucially, they disabled NASA's ability to remotely override their controls. Forced NASA's hand.
Yeah, essentially committed mutiny for the sake of their crewmate. Incredible.
So they're heading back. But getting Watney off Mars is still a huge problem. He has to use the MAV, the Mars Ascent Vehicle, meant for the next mission, Eris 4.
Right, and it's not designed for this kind of intercept. It's too heavy.
So Watney has to perform some
Yeah.
radical weight reduction.
Radical's putting it mildly. He strips that MAV down to almost nothing. Takes out seats, controls, life support systems he doesn't absolutely need.
Even removes the nose cone, the front window section, and just replaces it with patched canvas.
Just to shed every possible kilogram for launch.
Yeah.
It's basically an open cockpit ride into orbit.
Insane. And even that isn't quite enough for the rendezvous with Hermes. They're still moving too fast relative to each other.
Which leads to the final, absolutely wild improvisation. Commander Lewis needs to slow the Hermes down, fast, by blowing a hole in the front airlock of her own ship.
With what?
With a homemade bomb. Sugar and liquid oxygen. Creates a focused explosion to act as a retro rocket, basically.
Blowing a hole in your spaceship with a sugar bomb to slow down. Okay.
Terrifying, but it worked. That rapid deceleration let Dr. Chris Beck on EVA tether snag Watney as they flew past. Just an incredible sequence of calculated risks.
Absolutely. And the sources mention some interesting real-world echoes, too, right?
Yeah, a couple of cool things. An actual species of Australian bush tomato, Solanum watney, it's in the same family as the potato was named after him.
After the fictional botanist who grew potatoes on Mars. That's perfect.
And also, apparently, the cover page of the movie script actually flew on NASA's Orion EFT-1 test flight back in 2014.
Wow, okay. A little piece of the story literally went to space.
So, wrapping this up, what does it all mean? I mean, the sources clearly show this incredible reliance on technical skill, on engineering and science.
Watney's sheer ingenuity, working the problem.
Exactly, but is that the whole story? Because pure technical knowledge wasn't enough in the end.
Right. It took these huge, risky human decisions. The crew defying NASA policy, Henderson leaking the plan.
So the final thought maybe for you listening is, what really stands out? Is it the singular genius of Mark Watney figuring out how to survive against all odds?
Or is it that collective, incredibly risky, maybe even ethically questionable choice by the Hermes crew to break the rules and go back for their friend? Where does the balance lie?